Does the special counsel's conclusion that neither the president nor anyone in his campaign colluded with Russia in 2016 now give him a leg up going into 2020? We have a political power panel lined up to talk about that and more. Democratic strategist Dave Brown, Republican strategist Alexandra Wilkes, and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Great to have all of you.
Hey, Shannon.
Thanks for having us, Shannon.
Okay, I want to read something that comes from Matt Taibbi. He's released an early chapter of his upcoming book, Hate, Inc., under this headline. It's official. Russiagate is this generation's WMD. He says for years, every pundit and Democratic poll in Washington hyped up every new Russia headline like the Watergate break-in. Nothing Trump is accused of from now on by the press will be believed by huge chunks of the population, a group that, perhaps thanks to this story, is now larger than his original base. Dave, does this 2-year investigation and now the president being exonerated on this issue of collusion just set him up perfectly for re-election?
I don't think so, for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think that this is going to change how the president is viewed by most Americans. The Mueller report and the underlying issues of Russia and whether the president sought to obstruct justice, these are things that have become very hardened partisan positions for a lot of voters. And so I don't think that the news today is going to shift those people. Where I think the president's probably going to try to go, and where certainly Democrats are going to reach the persuadable voters, is on the issues that are really going to matter when it comes to what the American people care about: healthcare, education, you name it. So no, Shannon, I don't think that this really changes the ball game much, other than to say I do think what we're quickly and already seeing is now a showdown between the executive branch and the Congress, and of course the rightful calls for the report to be released in full so that the Congress can exercise its responsibility, oversight responsibility.
And Charlie, I'm not hearing anyone tonight saying they aren't going to release the report. We've heard the president say do it. The House has voted across partisan lines to say we're going to do it. And Barr has said as quickly as I can get it to you without disclosing information I can't, it's coming.
Yeah. It seems that way. I want to go back to something you talked a couple segments ago, which is the amount of people that the percentage of the people in America that believe that Trump colluded with a foreign power. I believe you said it was 42%. I mean, that is a stunning figure. I mean, what a disservice the media has done to this president and to the country. That 42% of voters think that he colluded with a foreign power. They're treating this as he was guilty until proven innocent. And of course, I believe, and it's correct, that he was vindicated by the Mueller and the Barr report on it. But I'll tell you, it is unbelievable that many people thought that without actually ever seeing the evidence of it. And thousands of articles are written by other outlets about this with no evidence, just on hearsay. And this is also important, that Attorney General Barr and the Special Prosecutor Mueller combined, they have so much experience. They wouldn't issue these kind of opinions without reviewing the documents with over 500 witnesses that were interviewed, 2,800 subpoenas that were issued. This is pretty amazing. And I just say the media, shame on them for what they did for 2 years here. And it has real damage on the narrative in this country, totally built on lies.
Well, Alex, I want to play something or show you something. This is a tweet from former FBI Director James Comey. Obviously, no love lost between him and the president, who let him go. But he put out a tweet tonight, and he's like out in the forest, and he's looking at these beautiful redwoods. I'm not sure what it is. It's a beautiful picture. And he says, so many questions this afternoon. Okay, that was retweeted and answered by Senator Lindsey Graham, who's now chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And he says, could not agree more. See you soon. Do you think he winds up back on Capitol Hill along with the calls for Barr and Mueller to come too? Alex?
Oh, I absolutely think so, because this whole thing was predicated on this dossier that has now been discredited. And so you could see why the president and his allies on Capitol Hill would want to take a closer look about how this investigation was generated even before President Trump became president. But, with respect to today, I think it's hard to see this as anything but a great day for the president and a total faceplant for Democrats. I mean, from a legal perspective, if you're a lawyer and you get told by the biggest, baddest prosecutor in town that your client is innocent of criminal charges, that's a pretty good day. And politically speaking, you have a lot of Democrats out there who in 2018 were able to run these polite campaigns that didn't mention Donald Trump and didn't mention Russia and passed everything off onto Mueller. Now you have Jerry Nadler and congressional Democrats who have the majority saying that they're going to continue the investigation. That's something that moderate Democrats in these districts are going to have to answer for, and it's not going to be a pleasant conclusion with voters.
Dave, quickly, do you think it backfires on them? Is there a possibility Democrats could push this too far? Or do you think no limit?
No, I think they have a responsibility to exercise their Article 1 duties. But look, just to go back very quickly to what Charlie said and the other guests, I mean, the reality is Mueller made a determination that beyond a reasonable doubt, that threshold, evidentiary threshold, wasn't met. But one of the reasons why we need to see this report in full is because there may be conduct that doesn't rise to that evidentiary level, but it's still very objectionable. And that's why it's critical the American people need to know what exactly happened.
And Charlie, it seems like that's exactly what the Democrats are after. Fair?
Well, yeah, that's what the Democrats are after, but make no mistake, they just want the report so they can use it as a political talking point sheet against the president. We want the report so that we can get all the facts.
I think
but the Trump legal team should be allowed to issue a defense of the prosecution before it gets released.
We got to leave it there. Thank you all. Tonight's closing argument next.